And it leads nicely because I was going to ask you in terms of what are the, let's say, the types of things that have influenced you and really resonated with you as you've gone on and developed Mindjoy. And obviously that is one of them. Is there anything else that's really had a really massive impact and inspired you in terms of what you're doing with Mindjoy?
PERMA is a big one. So I just went into that. So it's a really, really big one, like understanding of human flourishing and what that takes. And thinking about, and I would say almost a secondary thing to that is we've added that meaning making is linked to your ability to wield tools that are relevant and facilitate your participation in society. And that matters a lot for both meaning making, but also a sense of accomplishment. And for people to feel okay, they need to experience a sense of competence. It doesn't matter what it is they're doing. They do have to experience a sense of competence, for the self to be okay. I think this is actually a huge question in the world of AI. Like in a world where machine and human output become indistinguishable, how does that affect our meaning making? And what is my role in society? What is my role in the classroom? What is it that I spend my time on? What are our values? And I think actually, this is, I think, a growing trend, but a lot of education is moving towards values-based systems more than it is about, accreditation per se. But I think we'll see a big shift in terms of education systems organizing around values. The ways parents choose schools, the principles around which schools organize themselves, what pedagogies are they adopting, what methods are they adopting, what frameworks, often will be values-based decisions.
Yeah, we're seeing it.
What you see.
Well, first of all, I'm starting to see those things you already mentioned, like within my school over the last couple of years, definitely post-COVID as well. So the PERMA model, we have that, or at least the equivalent of it. So we were introduced to it obviously from, I can't remember the name, you probably know, the school in Australia that obviously run a lot of the positive education where this is really housed. Is it Wollongong? I don't know if it's that one. I know another one, which is Mindjoy. You'll probably find out. You could probably tell me. But we have that filtering into our school. And then they use something called PEAK. So obviously with my kids in primary, I see this at the positive education side of things. And even across a lot of the schools that I've been into or worked in, you're now starting to see values in terms of being up along the walls, being embedded into the classroom in terms of how they deliver content and the types of things they want to develop them. So, the IB one in terms of learning characteristics has always been there, and I think that's a good foundation to start from. But it's when you start to add in things like caring and empathy that go into it. When you talk about perspective, in other people's shoes, you're starting to then think about different values. And parents, I think, and it's important to us, starting to choose more about the values and that the school integrates and that children hopefully come out with as well. So there is a lot of that there, which is really, really good.
I suppose it's also really interesting, like being part of international school communities. Like a lot of Mindjoy, like a lot of the teachers we work with are like IB schools or Cambridge schools, a lot of international community schools. And that's been really, it's a really interesting thing because you do have this diversity of perspective, right? Like you said, like being able, different perspectives, people from different backgrounds, different value systems, different cultures, and almost needing something to come together around. And you almost have that, grouping